Hello and welcome, and a Happy New Year. My name is Paula, also known as the Snail Garden on social media. I will put links in the description box below where you can find me. I also have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross-stitching. This vlog is really just to say Happy New Year and to show you what I have been working on over Christmas, and also to recap a few items I made during December. I did do Vlogmas, so I don't really want to repeat myself, but if you wish to see what I got up to during December and including Christmas, please look at my vlogs, which I did in 6 parts. They're not very long, but I did go and see some nice places during December. So to start with, I have some finished objects from December, but not fully finished. This first one was a Christmas free design, generously published by Paola of Puntini Puntini. I have done this on 36 count Zweigart Aqua and specifically chosen these colours to match the berries in bloom that I stitched last Christmas by Hands on Design, because my plan is to have some ornaments of similar colours. So as you can see, I changed the berries to match the DMC colours that were in this one, and also the leaves. And the gingerbread was an over-dyed colour, which I cannot remember the name of at the moment. I don't know that I made a note of it. It was quite hectic during December. So this one is going to be completed like a little tart pan. I then stitched Let It Snow by Whilst Iris Snaps, another generously published free design at Christmas time. Again on the 36 count Aqua. And I have some little snowflakes charms to hang on the bottom of this, so eventually I will have several designs that I hope will go well together. If you watched any of my Vlogmases, or if you follow Nicola of Bumble Stitches Floss Tube, which I'm sure you do, and if not, why not? You will know that she and I did an advent swap, and among the beautiful, thoughtful gifts I received was this little angel kit by the Stitchery. And so over the actual Christmas, I worked on the little angel. Don't know if you can see, but she's very glittery. She has silver all in her dress and her wings. And this is on some vintage linen. So in the kit, she is made up into a little padded heart, which I may do. I think she's a beautiful design. During November, I did stitch a few items for Nicola, which I couldn't show on here. So I will put in a few photos of those items. And one of them was a matching project bag. Don't know if you can see the charm I put on here. And some of the pretty Christmas ribbons. I absolutely loved this fabric. And it's the same on the back. And inside, I have some snowy fabric. And mine is a blue background, and Nicola's was a lilac background. We both had these purple zips, which I think went well with the fabric. And in here, I am keeping my current stitching, which I've been doing over Christmas. And I have been stitching A Basketful of Wintertime by Brenda Gervais. This is my progress so far. I'm quite a slow stitcher, so I like to take my time. I like this little basket with the house. And I've used all the called for colours apart from the red of the Santa. The snowflakes are quite subtle on this fabric, which is a 36 count linen that I have hand dyed. It's a very pale green with just subtle hints of brown. It's coming out quite true, just there. I tried a white instead of the linen, the colourway linen that is, for the snowflakes, and it didn't show up anymore, so I've stuck with the called for colour. It's quite subtle, but I like it. And I have to finish the tree, give this snowman a scarf, and I have these borders to do at the bottom. These are the colours I am using. And they're a bit messy, I'm afraid. Is it easier on here? Yes, here it is. Santa, his colourway was meant to be chili pepper, which looks beautiful with all the other colours, but it's quite orange. I think I decided I'd like my Santa to be more red. I also have a slight problem, a choice to make yet. These two colours are very, very similar. And these are the called for greens, and I don't know if it's just the dye lot I've got. So I'm not sure that they're going to show up as being different. You can see they look quite different in the photograph, so I might have to substitute one. I think my four-leaf clover that I'm using at the moment is quite perhaps paler than what was on here. It's hard to tell with these photographs. Here's my little thread keep or floss bling, whatever, lots of different names I've heard people call them. I made last year, inappropriately enough with a snowflake. The only other item I finished recently, and it was a long while in the making because I stopped knitting at one point, and I have finished my Love Note jumper. I don't know that it's, oops, can't get any further back because of the cabinet. It's a cropped top, but I've made it slightly longer. I think it still could do with being a bit longer. So, and I probably will make another one, and I'll make them just a bit longer for myself. And the 3/4 length sleeves, which I like. And this I knit in Madeleine Tosh Tough Sock in the colourway Snowfall, and it's knitted with 2 strands of yarn held together, the other one being a mohair lace by Viola Yarns in the colourway Signet, which gives it the slight variegation. I stopped doing quite so much knitting as usual, I think for 2 reasons. One, it became very hot last year, and 2 of my projects were mohair, and the rest of my projects were blankets, so I didn't really feel like knitting on them. And I wasn't going to let myself cast on anything new. My plan still is to finish items. So to that end, I have been knitting on one of my projects that I keep in this patchwork bag I made. And this is the Habitation Throw by Curious Handmade. And I'm knitting this in 2 Nora George yarns. One is a silver sparkle called Winter Wonderland, which is this beautiful colour and sparkle. And the other one is a blue-faced Leicester called Fairy Tale of New York. And I'm striping them. And I believe I am halfway there, if I can just untangle it. I don't think the sparkle is showing up in this light, but it is very pretty. I have just got to the halfway point. I started at this corner. And it will block out a lot larger when it's finished. This was my travel project, but we don't travel much now, so I thought I will stitch on this over Christmas. And I was here beforehand. I've just stitched on this the past week. This is one of my little progress keepers that I made. And I do sell stitch markers and progress keepers in my shop as well. I love all the little sparkly stars in this. And this is also helps me to know which is the right side because it's identical on both sides. I'd like by the end of January to finish this. But as I said before, I'm a slow stitcher. Oops, and there is a needle on the loose. One moment, I'll just put it back in my needle cozy, which I also make. find where the popper is. And that keeps them quite secure in there. And those are all the projects that I have finished or I'm currently working on, because I'm just going to do the wintertime cross stitch and the habitation throw. What I thought I would do is give you a little whip parade. The operative word being little, because I have 4 items to show you. My knitting projects at one point got quite out of hand, I felt, so I was determined that this wouldn't happen with my cross-stitch projects. Having said that, of course I got distracted, made quite a few items last year, and didn't finish some items. And one of them was this Winter at Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. I did the border to start with to make sure it all matched up. As you can see, it's a big house and I'm almost finished on it. I'm slightly disappointed with myself that I didn't finish it last year as I planned. But it's so easy to be distracted, isn't it, by other things? But this is going to be a finish. Definitely this year. Hold me to that, please. Another item that I'm almost finished on is this with Feed the Soul by Stitches Through the Years. I have quite a few of her designs to stitch, and it will say Flowers Feed the Soul down here. But as you can see, I just have to finish the border and the flowers around the border, and once I have the verse in there, or the phrase, it's almost finished. A couple of these colours are called for, the rest are all from stash, and I believe it's 40 count, this one. And I'm stitching it 1/2, and the colours are DMC and Anchor that I had in stash. I started this as part of one of Nicola's sals. I think it was Pocketful of Posies. I'm not very good at sals, apparently. I don't finish them on time. And talking of not finishing sals on time, this one I was definitely going to have finished last year. This is a stitch along by the Victoria Sampler Company. It's one or the other, I can't remember at the moment. And a design was released each month, starting with January. I changed this design because I wanted it more personalised. And again, I changed this one. And there are still quite a lot of elements in this, but I just changed the centre. These 3 designs have elements of the patterns, but they didn't really represent our life, and I wanted it to be truer to us, if that makes sense. So I've changed these bottom 3, and this is a windmill in Norfolk. Well, let me just correct myself. This is a wind pump in Norfolk, because it doesn't actually mill, it pumps water. And I used to sail on a Norfolk white boat a lot when I was younger. And this is a scene from the beaches in Norfolk when we went on holiday to stay with my parents this year. And this to me represents autumn in my parents' garden, my dad's greenhouse and his wheelbarrow, and there will be apples on this tree because I helped him to pick some apples when I was there. And this little wheelbarrow has very fond memories for me. It's the same one my dad has always had, and he used to take me for rides up and down the garden. They have quite a long garden. When I was little in this wheelbarrow, used to have a lot of fun. October's is a Halloween design, and I will be staying true to the pattern for that one. I'm not sure what November's is. And December is a Christmas tree, which I will be staying true to. And these don't take me very long to do at all, so why I didn't get around to finishing it. And this is on 32 count, mostly stitched 2/2, though there is some 1/1 in there. And it is in my colourway Quartz, which is mostly grey with just some touches of pink. My final stitch, and thankfully I have the label on it, so I couldn't remember for a moment what the colourway was. My final stitch is this Sew Plant Eat, I believe it's called. Repeat. You can tell it's been a while since I stitched on it. And this is in 32 count sand, which I have dyed. As you can see, I haven't got too far. Need to put the border around the bunny, and there's a large solid piece of stitching at the bottom. I will insert a photo of what the finished item's like because I've put the patterns away at the moment. This is something I need to get on and finish soon. I only have a few outstanding knitting projects, crochet projects, which maybe I will share another time. I hope to have some of those finished items fully finished by the end of January, and my habitation throw and basket full of wintertime finished. As you can see, I have my wreaths still up that I crocheted earlier this year. This was a design featured as an advent a couple of Christmases ago in a little box of crochet, but I didn't buy it until the following year and finished it this year. Just enjoying this and our Christmas cards. And a flower arrangement on the table for the last couple of days before they have to all come down. I've taken all the rest of the decorations down. I wish you all a peaceful, happy and healthy 2022. And I hope to see you again at the end of January. Bye.
Brenda. Here.